Someone asked, once I beat my mental block, I fail and then it comes right back. What do I do?
Yeah. So this is a really tough one for athletes and parents. It's very frustrating because mental blocks definitely go in cycles. And if you've
Hmm.
had a mental block, then yes, like mental blocks, they do come back. Most of the time, the reason that they come back is because athletes do not know why they happened to begin with, and they don't know how they got over it. It's
Yeah.
really just, it's almost like they're just waiting for the day, showing up every day at practice, waiting for the day where it's like, okay, I'm good, I'm healed. Like I'm good now. But
Yeah.
mental blocks happen as an accumulation of how they're processing what's going on around them. And it's this buildup over time of pressure and fear. And they're just kind of waiting for it to go away
Yeah.
versus if you actually have the plan and you know what to do to make it go away, then if that ever happens, if you notice that little shift happening where things are feeling harder than they used to, you just recalibrate back to those things that are working. So sometimes the other thing is when we are fixed or our mental blocks go away, right? There's this like big stigma of do you have a mental block or don't you? No, mental
Yeah.
block is a challenge that you're working through. So it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you're going to have a mental block 100% and then it's going to go away 100%. That's not how it
Mhm.
works. But it's thinking about those things that are going to be like the things that are helpful for you to overcome a mental block. Don't stop doing them, right? It's like when we're trying
Mhm.
to establish a new healthy habit, we're really paying attention to doing good things, but then
Yeah.
we revert back to old unhealthy habits over
Yeah.
time. So it's keep doing those things that are working. So if you change
Okay.
your mindset and you're being more positive, continue to be more positive. If you're
Yeah.
focusing on releasing all that pressure and not putting expectation on yourself, continue to do that. So
Mhm.
that's really the big thing is, and it's not a fail. You said that word and that
Yeah.
word is used like I wish I could just destroy that word because it's so frustrating to me.
Yeah.
But fail, that's a sign to me that the athlete who asked that question, they have so many expectations for themselves, because
Yeah.
the only way to have a fail is meaning it's that you had a strict standard for what does success look like. It's like
Hmm.
success means that I do all my skills, they look a certain way, they feel a certain way, and everybody around me is happy with me, right? I
Yeah.
didn't let anybody down today. That's a good day for me. And so if they failed, what that means is they're letting one thing that they didn't do, or a few things that they didn't do perfectly, take over and throw everything else good that they did away. It's like
Hmm.
nothing else matters because of these few things. That is
Yeah.
expectation written all over it. And that's the number one reason why athletes put themselves in a position to have mental blocks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if someone found this helpful or they suffer from mental blocks or anxieties or fears themselves, then how can they work with you or how can you help them?
Yeah, absolutely. So, the easiest way to get started is to sign up for a no cost conversation with me. So, I offer free performance check sessions, and that is a 30-minute virtual call. And the whole point of that is really to discuss what are your goals, what do you want, what's your dream, where do you want to be, and then where you are today. And I want to have a conversation and help this athlete see how to kind of close the gap. How do you get from where you are to where you want to be? And getting them to understand what's happening so they can let go of that frustration. That's really helpful. And what are some steps they can go ahead and start taking to move forward? So that's something I offer. It's called a performance check session. You can get signed up for it at mgpcoach.com/performance check session. And we'll put the link below this video. We'll include it somewhere so that they can get access and get signed up for that. Spots are limited, so if they want to get signed up, if this is interesting, absolutely go ahead and get signed up, please. But it's a great conversation. I spend about 20 minutes with the athlete, then do a parent recap at the end for the last 10 minutes. And it's no pressure, no obligation. It's just, I just want to help you, talk to you, give you some things to think about, give you things to consider maybe you haven't before so that they can move forward in their skills. And then if they found it helpful and they want to know more about what the programs look like and what maybe the best next step would be for them, then at the end of the conversation, then we'll talk through those options together.
All right, that's a good option.
Awesome.
And I
Well,
know you also have mental coaching or other courses available too, right? And free trainings.
yeah, absolutely. So I've got tons of resources on my website. So if you go to mgpcoach.com, that is where you can find a lot of different resources. Also, we have a course. So I have a 12-week Mind Over Mental Block course that's available. We are going to be adding in some Q&A, office hour, like more live coach sessions. So to make sure that as you're working through the content and the curriculum in my 6-step Mind Over Mental Block process, as you work through that every week, you have an opportunity to ask your questions in person with a coach, one of my expert mental coaches. So that is an option. And then we're also going to be starting small group classes here in the next little bit. So so keep an eye out for information on that. So lots of ways to get support from us. Just get in contact with us however you can. But a good place to start is that mgpcoach.com, our website.